Hello odd ones, thank you for clicking into the channel. My name is Z Solom, and we will be continuing today with our adventure into Innsmouth. Now the last time we played, we didn't exactly got a happy ending. We survived, we learned a little more about Innsmouth, but we did not find the little girl, and we did not, get the big payday, get the reward that we were searching for this whole time. We didn't find our true selves. And that's what we're really looking for, right? So, I'm going to continue this investigation in search of that happy ending. And I believe we're going to do that at the harbor. The harbor is the one place that we haven't actually visited yet, so there might be more for us to do there. So, I am going to start us off at the city entry, and I believe there was a path at the very end of the city entry. We got to choose to go to the harbor, and that is where our story is going to take place. So, in the meantime, I'm going to click through this. I'm not going to try to make the same decisions. If things drastically change, then I will record it and commentate on it, but I don't think you guys want me to read through all that again. So this is going to skip to the harbor, unless something else happens. Alright, Innsmouth town limits. Getting off the bus into the city. Let's go. The townspeople look like fish. Turn around, ignore. Oh, here comes our friendly lady, the only person who doesn't look like a fish, but has led us into a trap. Let's just keep walking. Run away! Alright, and our suitcase, which we had just put down, is mysteriously gone. So obviously we are now staying only one night. Alright, and now we go to the harbor. The music did not change. Alright. Innsmouth Harbor is signposted much better than the local hospital. You wonder if a hospital is even needed here. It's a half-hour walk. A mile-long carpet of cobblestones is now ahead of you. The traffic in Boston is more hectic, but at least I have heard of asphalt before. As you keep walking, there are fewer and fewer residential buildings along your path. In their stead, there are now warehouses that must be fish markets due to the smell. You can also hear the occasional metallic clinking from nearby workshops. People in gray raincoats are walking toward you. They're probably fishermen who have some errands to run. Now and again, in that split second when you pass one another, you catch a glimpse of the faces hidden under the hoods. Puffy eyes that look at you suspiciously. Although there are few clouds in the sky, there's no chance of rain as far as you can tell. Why are they all wrapped up like this? You wonder if they have a sixth sense for approaching storms. The sound of rhythmic blows of a hammer nearby tears you away from these thoughts. We know why they're covered up. It's because they're fish cult. It would be interesting to watch this work in a shipyard, but little Flapjack is unlikely to be here to play. From a distance, you can already see masts of boats which rise up into the sky like rows of spears. You walk along a small street at the quay, with the harbor basin just behind it. Breathe in the sea breeze, look around, let's breathe it in, fill our lungs. Your lungs fill with fresh air and a peaceful feeling settles within you. The air seems to do you a world of good. More than that, it fills you with life. You should travel to the rural coast more often to escape the noise and smell of the big city. The view of the harbor is splendid. Boats of all shapes and sizes are coming and going, nets are being emptied out, and fish seem to be endlessly splashing into huge freezer boxes. Local trades are being sealed with handshakes, and, at the end of a wide headland, a huge lighthouse watches majestically over the bay. The ideal postcard motif if it weren't for the people. You only know fishermen from movies, and you have to admit that you have certain prejudices. These include, they have weather-beaten skin and the captains always have well-groomed beards. They are either strong, silent types or hard-drinking lads who sing filthy sea chanties. But these creatures in front of you are neither majestic nor leery. They move around more like tragic hunchbacks you expect to see in French cathedrals. A few yards to the right, there's a fork in the road and a road sign pointing further north. Its inscription reads, Innsmouth Paradise Beach. In the far distance, you can see a building that looks like a church. Hang on, a church on the coast? How eccentric. You go to the beach, to the church, to the lighthouse. Alright, so on the wellness trip, we went to the beach. That did not end well for us. So, I don't know. We've seen the lighthouse on the wellness trip too. Maybe the game was hinting we should go there. But let's go to the church. I kind of wonder who these people are worshipping. Cthulhu. Right, so the church. The church is located on a hill overlooking the harbor. You're immediately drawn towards it. You stroll along the dock towards the cliffs. You take in the pleasant sea breeze and the hustle and bustle on the ships. Your original mission pops into your mind. This place is so relaxing. It's just too easy to forget about the little girl. Yeah, we don't need to forget. Apparently, she was made up. Out of the corner of your eye, you can see 3 fishermen whose boat had just moored. They are not working. In fact, they are not doing anything. They're just standing there, staring at you. That feeling of serenity is slowly overtaken by anxiety. What are you looking at me for, or speed up my pace? Let's call them out on it. Why are they staring at me? What are you looking at me for? You shout across at them, giving them an aggressive look. You bet these little sea oafs have never before come across a tough city type such as yourself. One of the 3 still observes you with mild interest. The others are already looking at their nets. After a few yards, you turn around again. They're all gone. The crew must have disappeared below deck in their little boat. What a strange bunch. Suddenly, it's utterly plausible to you that people in this town can disappear just like that. You're a little closer to the church building now, and you're relieved to find that there are a few dozen people outside its gates. And they're not the usual creepy Innsmouth kind. The group are gesticulating and discussing something in a very animated manner. Normal people! As you reach the courtyard, you're able to assess the situation a little better. 2 groups with the same number of people are confronting one another, surrounded by a few more reserved onlookers. 2 shouty people, who appear to be representatives of the 2 camps, are facing each other. A bronze plaque is displayed above the gates to the entrance. Engraved on it, Esoteric Order of Dagon. Oh, so they're not worshipping Cthulhu, they're worshipping Dagon. Okay. Ignore the crowd and go into the church. Join the crowd. Let's join the crowd. Let's see what's going on. Oh, hello. Yes, our normal friends. You walk up to the crowd. You peek over the shoulders of the stocky figures in front of you, who are listening to the 2 men and occasionally nod or mumble words of dissent. One of the 2 squabblers, a weather-beaten man with bulging eyes, is just about to launch into the finale of his speech. And therefore, Dagon is the one God who created us in his own image, and his only son is Obed Marsh, who came to earth as a man, and he is Dagon himself, because we... No, his counterpart interrupts. He is a bearded professor type, dressed in a grey wool sweater, who highlights every word with an aggressive jab of his pipe in his hand. Dagon is the creator of the world, but he is above us. He has no children, or nothing even close to the kind of things. Even saying that is heresy. It's in the writings of his prophet, Abdul Azarat. With a scrunched up face and a high-pitched voice, the sailor repeats these words. Abadar Azarat, what a lot of horse dung! The crowd is now on fire. Their fists are raised, and there's a crackling tension amongst the onlookers. Oh yeah? And the whole Obed Marsh was born by Immaculate Conception when Mary Ann Marsh was bathing in the story. What do you call that? She was blessed there to receive Obed, and you know it! The bug-eyed sailor shouts out, no longer trying to contain his anger. You know it! He adds, hissing quietly. The ongoing murmur of the crowd is occasionally drowned out by the heavy breathing of the 2 main speakers. The crowd is up in arms. Enter the church, get involved. You know what? We are not the kind of people to always stick our head into these things. But this time we will. Let's get involved. You decide that it's a good idea to get involved in a religiously motivated argument. You push your way through the ranks of the gawkers and clear your throat loudly. The 2 men turn to you, as does everyone else present. You are examined for a few seconds, and judging by the disparaging looks, the collective has quickly come to a unanimous verdict. You are not welcome here. I can help you, or back out now and say, oh, sorry, I think I'm mistaken here. Nope, we can help them. I know the answer. I can help you. You promise. Ever the optimist. Oh, yeah? How exactly? The fisherman grunts at you. I don't recall seeing you at any of the theological studies of the Esoteric Order of Dagon. His opponent agrees. Exactly. I've also never seen you at the bingo. You can hear people agreeing on both sides of the conflict. Yeah, these characters' accents aren't staying straight. I'm sorry. Not only do you think that it is a good idea to get involved in religiously motivated arguments, you also think that it's a good idea to get involved without even having a hint of a clue of what's going on. It's poor life choices like this that have cost you a number of teeth during your various bar brawls. Fine, at least you managed to unite them against you. The first step towards solution, surely. We are great. I can help you with. You explain to me what's going on. You give me some information that I require first. Let's get them to explain what's going on. I can help you with. You explain to me what's going on. The face of the fisherman lights up. You immediately realize the grave tactical error you just made. You just asked a religious nutter to explain his worldview to you. This might take a while. Now look, stranger, here in this town we are blessed with the knowledge of Dagon, the only true God. Almost immediately, your attention level drops to 0. You remember your strange aunt whose brain had been utterly mangled by esoteric nonsense and medical cannabis. You try to follow what he's saying, mentally switch off. Let's try to follow, we need to figure this out. Your counterpart is rattling down all the sad conspiracy theory worldviews you might have heard 100 times before on midnight radio shows and internet forums all around the world. Chakras? Yeah. Energy flows? Sure. The great old ones, chemtrails, reptilioids, ley lines, ritual human sacrifices, the earth is hollow but also flat, vaccinations cause autism but magnets heal, the moon landing could not have happened because there are malicious toad creatures on the moon and their slaves from Leng are at war with cats. People on earth should be made aware of these things, but the Bilderberg group is withholding the information at the behest of extraterrestrial polyps from the future. All makes sense. You clear your throat tentatively. Both sides take this as a signal that you have heard sufficient evidence. Oh, have we? The professor takes the floor. So far, I agree with my opponent, except for the small fact that everything he just said is bullshit! A blasphemy of the First Order! Only believed by idiots! Idiots! Like those of the esoteric order of Dagon! The fisherman is outraged. You godless Oh, hold on. You godless fungus! I will smash your heretic face in! I dare you say that, you heathen liquor! Long live the Dagon order of the esoterics! The two men are being kept apart from one another by their respective supporters with great difficulty. Both shake their fists at each other. Try to intervene and stand between them. Ask them both to remain calm. Always great. Quietly back out of the situation. Nope, we're going head first. Let's try to intervene and stand between them. That doesn't sound good, but it would get their attention. We could ask them both to remain calm, which also sounds very bad. Let's try to intervene and stand in between them. I don't like the word try. Let's go for it. You jumped in to act as a human buffer between the two agitated parties. Hi, you shout. What's the point of this? The two men still look at each other, panting with excitement. You advise them to turn to the teachings of their religion. Find a minority to unite against instead. Who is that going to be? Is that going to be me? No, let's not kill ourselves. Turn to the teachings of their religion. Can't your religion help you with your conflict? That's what religions are for, right? To provide guidance in difficult moments to desperate people or celebrities. Both faith groups pause for a moment. The furrowed expressions on their faces indicate genuine surprise. Our religion? They ask, almost in unison. In the Shoggoth Sound 711, it is written that a child of Dagon must not harm his brothers and sisters, someone shouts from the crowd. It also says that you should throw your third-born child into the sea, and nobody does that. Silence. Oh boy. The Cthulhu chorales instruct us to slay anyone who soils the name of our god, someone murmurs to bridge the tense silence. That doesn't help us with our issue. Perhaps our guest is right, one of the two leaders shouts, his arms stretched out wide. The other one agrees. Perhaps it takes a heathen outsider to remind us that the answers to all our questions, here he theatrically waves his green Bible up to the heavens, lie in the writings of Dagon. And the writings of Abdul Azarad, the other man quickly adds. It obviously takes the fisherman a lot of effort not to hit him over the head with his Bible. Instead, he takes a deep breath. Remarkable. We did it! We solved the tension! All we had to do was be a human buffer. Now, let's each consult our scriptures and see which one of us is right. The mob forms 2 reading groups and sits down on the uncomfortable floor in front of the church to study their Bibles. A few of the angry sailors who were screaming loudly until just a few seconds ago are suddenly in terrible hurry. They apologize, children to look after, washing to be done. Uh-oh. You are now standing on the church square, undisturbed. Leave the church or enter the church? Well, let's try to enter the church. I mean, that's what we came here to do, right? Oh, we're in. Alright. I don't know how long I've been recording for, so I think I'm going to end this here. I will probably keep reading just to see if we get to a satisfying ending. But thank you, everyone, for clicking into the channel, and stay tuned for the next one. Bye-bye.